AI is taking over the world. It's taking our jobs, invading our lives, and pushing us into a digital isolation abyss. In this video, we'll embark on a quest to find a hideout from the inevitable progress of AI. Could Mars be our new home? Or maybe a safe haven is closer than we think? From our previous videos, you've already seen how AI can radically change everything, from our jobs to personal lives. But what if AI becomes too powerful? With the potential takeover of millions of jobs, some fear an economic collapse. And what about our personal lives? What's the plan B for those who don't want to be tracked by tech giants? Where do you escape if you don't allow algorithms to dictate your life? For some, the answer is Mars. Mars is often seen as a beacon of hope, a place where humanity can start anew. With its Earth-like day length and potential to hold water, it's an attractive option. Companies like SpaceX are already working to make trips to Mars a reality. But is this just a sci-fi dream, or could it be our salvation? The idea of colonizing Mars is fascinating, but it comes with its own set of challenges. The atmosphere is thin, and radiation levels are high. We'd need to build modules that can protect us from harsh conditions. Plus, the journey itself would take about 6 months. And let's not forget, there's no Uber on Mars. Moving around will be an entirely new challenge until a network of hyperloops is built. And who says AI won't follow us to Mars? There, it can be quite autonomous. Mars can have internet connectivity. Networks of orbital satellites can transmit data between Martian bases and Earth, though with a delay of up to 22 minutes. On Mars's surface, relay stations can be set up to transmit signals from users to satellites and back. Satellites and relays will operate on solar panels or nuclear sources. The main priority will be to adapt to the new conditions of habitation and survival, which in no way will be handed over to AI. On Mars, humans will be in charge. Key decisions, such as choosing settlement locations, resource allocation, and organizing community life, will remain in human hands. Neural networks can help design better housing devices. Safety on Mars is a fundamental need. Neural networks can also help create systems that meet vital needs, such as growing food, purifying water, and air. Robots can perform dangerous and heavy tasks, such as mining or installing solar panels. So, on Mars, the presence of robots will be truly indispensable, and escaping AI on Mars is definitely not an option. If colonizing Mars seems too distant or fantastical, perhaps it's worth seeking refuge on our home planet. There are several places on Earth that could serve as potential hideouts from AI and technological progress. The Amazon is one of the least developed and most remote places on the planet. Here, among the vast jungles, you can find relative isolation from technology. Of course, living in such conditions will require significant adaptation and survival skills. You could build yourself an autonomous house and live a primitive life. In the highlands of the Himalayas, you can find monasteries and communities that have been living in harmony with nature and following traditional ways of life for centuries. These places can be a refuge for those seeking spiritual peace and distancing themselves from the modern world. Deep in the Sahara Desert, there are places where human presence is minimal. Harsh desert conditions render many technologies unusable. Of course, there are other places on Earth, isolated villages and communities located high in the mountain regions of the Alps, as well as in the dense forests of Sweden, Norway, and Finland, where people live closer to nature and with minimal use of technology. Additionally, remote islands in the Pacific or Indian Oceans can be considered. For instance, islands in Polynesia. Remote corners of nature offer the chance to escape not only from AI but also from the modern world. Here, in the heart of the wild, one can experience true isolation, unattainable in metropolitan areas. For many, this is a matter of humanity's survival in new conditions. They believe that returning to nature and distancing from technology will help preserve human values and a way of life that isn't governed by algorithms and machines. The question of why someone would want to escape from AI might seem strange in a modern world where technology penetrates everything, and it's hard to imagine life without it. One option often mentioned in science fiction, games, and even considered in reality is underground bunkers. The idea of hiding underground might seem extreme, but it has its advantages. Underground bunkers have long been used for military and civilian purposes. They provide protection from external threats, such as natural disasters, military actions, and of course, radiation exposure. In addition, bunkers can be shielded from electromagnetic radiation and other technological surveillance, allowing you to avoid tracking by AI and tech giants. Modern technologies make it possible to create fully autonomous underground complexes that can function independently from the outside world for extended periods. Take, for example, the Survival Condo Project in the USA. It is a multi-apartment underground bunker built in a former missile silo. But living in underground conditions can be psychologically challenging due to the lack of natural light and the feeling of isolation. Constantly being in a confined space without fresh air might affect the psyche more than the constant surveillance of AI systems. The idea of escaping from AI might seem extreme or even fantastical. Can we find a way to coexist with AI? Can we use technology to our advantage without allowing it to control us? Only then can we create a future where we don't have to leave our home planet. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and click the bell icon. Until next time.